What's up, guys? Welcome back to the next video in learning Laravel. My name is QDS Danny and you guys are watching my channel Croywood. Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about the model because MVC stands for model view controller. We've seen controller, we've seen view, and it's time for us to learn about our databases and our models. So in the last video we have seen the migration. So migration is only a part of model inside the MVC architecture. As we have seen in the previous video, that migration helps us create databases, create tables, and we can create our fields inside that tables, and we can roll back, we can reset our we can migrate the entire table, and we can migrate the users tables there as well. Alright, so we're going to talk about the models, and we're going to talk about a little bit about migrations, and the most important ones is we're going to talk about the seeders, and we're going to talk why we need a seeder in Laravel applications. Alright, so before we continue with our models and with our migration and seeder, you guys go ahead and fire up your Laravel PHP artisan serve. So once your Laravels keep on running, so in the previous video, say we come here and we put a local host and we send PHP my admin, and as you guys know that I'm using the WIMP. If you guys using the XAMPP, make sure you guys put your password. So in my case, I don't need a password. So once you're here, we have we have created the Laravel DB, and inside the Laravel DB, with the help of migration, we created users, we created products, and we created the categories. So here now, if you look inside here, as I said, in the MVC, we have learned the model, we have learned the controller, which is C, and we have learned the view, which is V. Now it's a time for us to learn the models. If you look in here, there is a model, and this model is connected to the database. Say for example, the table user, we have a table user here, and if you observe here, the table users have the first one is the ID, name, email, and password. So the minimum one is you guys needs the ID, which is auto increment, is which have a name, and we have email and password. So we have fillable ones 3 because Laravel needs a name, it needs a email, and then is a password. ID is going to be auto increment, and these two guys here, the created and updated by itself, the computer is going to do it. And remember, tokens are null, so you guys don't need that one. So it's also null because the rest is all going to be auto generated. And if we go further down, it says hidden, the password, and remember tokens, which is very secret, is going to be hidden. And cost, if you look and verify that, it's going to be date and time. That's what the model, the responsibility of the model, because models directs everything what happens here inside the database. Alright, so how do we going to create a model, for example, and how we going to create how this model is connected to our database, to our migrations. If you look in here, that's a table that we have created so far. We have created reset table, we have created all these users and categories, and look in here, product ID, we have put a slug and categories. So in order for you guys, for us to come and create the model, we can create it through our here, we can create it through here, and I'm going to show you guys the relationship between the model and the migration. As I said, in this video we're going to talk about seeders. And if you look in here, we have a database seeder. If you're looking down, the top one's factory, then migration seeder. Why we even need a seeder, for example? Why now you're going to be asking, now you're going to be thinking that why, even if you have a migration, why we need a seeder? Seeder is like a farm or something like that. That's exactly true. Like a farmer goes and seeds the ground for a vegetable or for a tree or whatever to grow up, they need to seed the ground. That's exactly what we're going to do. Say in the previous video we have seen, we came here in product, that now I deleted all the data. We have come here and created our product, populated our product here. We have put an ID which was 1, and I believe I put an Android, or in the second one I put a fridge. So now if you want to have a database, if you want to create your database, being a Laravel developers, you guys need to put a lot of data to test your application. Say for example, if your how your application is gonna be behaving in the real world. Say for example, you are making application for client, and you don't know what's going to happen, how the application is going to behave once it go in a production line. Once it go in production, so at the moment we have two environment. The first one is the development. If you're looking in env, the first going to be debug. For example, log level is going to be debug, and if you look in our debug is true. Once it goes for development, you guys need to put it, this one debug is false, because you don't want everyone to see what's happening inside your application, because now debug that's in development that's in development stage. You can leave it okay, but not in production scale stage, so you guys need to turn it off. And that's very true if you are creating your database here. Say for example, instead of you wasting like 40 minutes or an hour just to try to populate say 10 rows of say data, you guys can create it through the Laravel. How cool is that? And the Laravel provides you the tools through this seeder. So this one gonna help you create all the database, whatever you need here. It's gonna populate it for you straight away out of the box. You can put a 50, you can put 100, you can put 1,000, 500, whatever you want, and just for your development purposes. And as I said, once you finish with your all this data, make sure you create your database brand new just for the users. And when you go to users, for example, if you have a lot of data, just put a truncate, and it's going to delete all the data that you had for testing purposes. And once all the data is deleted, then you guys can put the applications, you can sell it to people, or you can sell it to the client, or you can, if you're working for a company, or you can make it for yourself. You can leave, you can put it on in the open live server for the users to use. All right, so first thing first, we're going to create our model, because as I said, the MVC, the M stands for model, and we're going to see MVC, and we're going to see the relationship between this model and this migration. And then we're going to see the relationship between this migration and the seeder, and we're going to see the relationship between this seeder and this database, because we're going to populate our database. All right, so as I said before, that in order for us to create our tables, I would normally go and look for the command for this guys here, then I create here. And you guys, as I said, you guys don't need to do this. You guys just go here and put a Control C, get out, and then you guys can create your tables, whatever. But I would do this way, so I find it a lot of easier, but it's up to you. You don't need to do this way. Then we go, now we need to navigate to WAMP, www Laravel, first Laravel. If you have XAMPP, you guys need to navigate to XAMPP. So we're going to go to WAMP 64, then we're going to go to www folder, then we go to Laravel, then we go first Laravel. Okay, so now we are ready. So how are we going to create our say model? For example, we put a PHP artisan, and then we make this part we already know, because we put a PHP artisan serve or PHP artisan make controller. So with this part we already know, and the next part is going to be model. For example, we have seen already a controller. So far we are very familiar with the controller, but because we are not making controller, we are making M for model. And say for example, if you want to make your model here, any model for example, and make sure this your model is going to be say singular. If it's product, you're going to make it product. If it's categories, you guys will make it category. Say for example, now you guys can make it anything you guys like. Say for example, you can make YouTube, you can make a object, you can make say for example e-commerce, you can make anything. Say for example, if you're going to make for example event, you can make an event application, you can put an event. And when it comes to here, you can put events, our events controller, but make sure your model always singular. You can create for example calendar. So we put a calendar for example, and here you guys put a double dash, and we can put a migration. Why we put a migration? This is the short version of when you guys want to create a model and when you guys make your migration at the same time. So now there is a two-way. Now if you can create your calendar, and then you can create your migration, or you can do it at the both ways. So I'm going to show you guys the both ways. This is very good if you are under stress or in a high-paced work environment, or if you're hurry, you want to create your model calendar, then you're going to create your for example migration. So now we're going to come and we press enter. So we're going to wait. Alright, so now if you look in here, we have created our calendars been created successfully. So here, if you look in our migration create a calendar table. So we have created our models calendar at the same time as we have created our calendar migration through the migration. So if you can put your all your fields here, for example, you can put all your rows. We can put a table, and for example, we can put a string. And what's our string? Our strings, for example, we can put an event, and then we can add more. We can put a table, for example. We can put a boolean, for example, boolean. Is the events confirmed, for example, and we can put a default, and for the default we can put it false, for example. Then we can put a table, and then we can put a comments, for example, in that date comments string, and we can put a comments, and this one you can put a null label. And we can put a table. We can put a date, for example. We can put a tiny integer. So now we put a tiny integer because it's going to take very, very small integer. Say, for example, it's going to the day is going to be from 1 to 30. You guys can put a tiny integer instead of integer, because integer is going to take a very long, big value. So now we can put an unsigned. Why we put an unsigned, for example? Now the reason we put unsigned, because the date is going to be starts from say 1. The date never starts, say for example -1. So when something, if you don't want to go -0, you guys need to put unsigned. And if you guys want, say for example migration, what's the status of your migration? We can put a PHP artisan migrate, and we put a status. If you guys are not sure what's happening with your migration, you can see all the tables, whatever you're going to see here. We can see exactly the same ones. PHP artisan migrate status, you can see the status, and we can see all these. Say here categories table, they all okay except these two, because these two is haven't been done. So it means that you guys need to do these two as well. So when we run PHP artisan, we put a migrate, and we're gonna see that's our migrating all these ones. So you're gonna see there is too small, no. So when we go here and refresh, we're gonna see all our here. So now we have edit calendars here, and we have categories. There are some tables here. So now our calendar is ready. So now this calendar here, for example, have a relationship to this calendar here. We have a model, and now here we have a calendar table, and we have a ID, event, boolean, string, tiny indent, timestamp. And if you look in here, we put it this way. Look in here, tiny int unsigned. It means it's not going to take anything minus 1 hour, for example, like that. But if you look in here, it's a big int and it's a tiny int, because tiny int, big ints take 20 and this one takes 3. So you can day for example from 1 to 30 is not a big deal. We can use this one, and it's unsigned, and look in here, it's unsigned. It means that id shouldn't go -1. Our is all these, it starts from 1 is all the way to 1 trillion or 1 million or 1 billion or 1 trillion, whatever, but it's never -0. And the same as day, you can put -1 day. When if you don't want anything to go minus, make sure you guys put a unsigned. And if you look in here, comment confirmed tiny int, it means it's either yes or no. So that's one also tiny int. If you look in here, there is a tiny int. Is it confirmed? The default is false. It means the default is 0. 0 means it's a false. And you guys already know that how we add here, add a slug, for example, add a column. You guys know. Add say for example this column to this table, you guys already know. Say for example we can come and we don't want this for example this to the latest one to go ahead, latest one to roll back. So if you do roll back, all of them is going to roll back. Say what happens if you just want to do the last bit, this ones. So we can do the stepwise, we can do the roll back, but we can do the stepwise. So what we're going to do is says we're going to do PHP artisan, and we can migrate. We put roll back, and we put a step, and step's going to be for 1. So what happens now that we don't want to roll back the whole thing, we just want the latest one, the one we've done. If you do by mistake, sometimes if you create something by mistake, you can do the rollbacks. Say for example now if we do another one, PHP artisan, we're gonna say migrate, and then we put a roll back, and we put a double dash, we put a step. Step means that you can only do the last one, don't do the whole one. So we put a step and we press enter, and the calendar and the calendar table is gone, because here we don't need the calendar back, rolling back the calendar, whatever the calendar table here we had. So even you're looking here inside our database, if you refresh, we are not going to see the calendar table, this table is here. So we do refresh. So here now the calendar table is gone. If you do something by mistake or something, you can just do the stepwise. Say step 1, and if you do step 2, then you go to the second one, the second layer. If you do step 3, then you go further than that. If you do the whole stepwise, whatever steps you have done, all these you can roll back the stepwise. So you don't have to roll back just one or something like that. We can put a stepwise. Step 1, say for example now you can put a step 2. If you put a step 2, you can even go further than that. Alright, so now we're going to create say a model. We're going to create a seeder for say our product, because we already create a products table here. We already have our everything set, and we already create some column, added some column here in our product. What we're going to do is that we're going to create a model. We're not going to create a model for calendar, we're just going to create a model for product, because I'm going to show you guys, you guys going to need this in your practical Laravel making applications with the products, because if you guys want to make e-commerce, PHP artisan make model, and we put a product. So but we are not gonna put a say -m out for migration. You can put it this way as well, or you can put a double dash migration. We are not going to put a migration. Why? Because we already create our migration for the table products already there. So something is already there, we don't want to put, but what we're going to do is that we're going to come here in a product, and we're going to fill up this one. This one's totally empty, as you can see. So now we're going to go here, and we're going to go here, and we're making a model for the product. And if you look in here, the product is a singular. All right, so now how we going to create the seeder, table seeder, for example. Now we're going to come in our database, and if you look in here, we have namespace seeder, database seeder, just like exactly like migration. We have a table seeder here. So table seeder have a run. If you look in here inside run, this one we can run our whatever we needs to put it here, so we can run. Okay, so how we going to create a table seeder? We're going to that's exactly the same. We're going to come here, we put a PHP artisan, and we put a DB, and we put a seed. You hit enter and you're not going to see anything. It says database seeding completed successfully, but you know, you guys didn't so normally when we press model, we're going to see something here. Our we press controllers, we're going to see something here, but we didn't see anything. Why? Because you guys just activated this guys here. So now this guy is activated and ready to throw everything whatever inside the database. So to create your table seeder, you guys need to come here and create your table seeder. So normally you guys see here, normally you guys in some Laravels, you guys going to see this, say for example call, and you're going to see that there is a table here inside here. Say for example it's a users table. Normally you guys going to see users table seeder. For example, you guys going to see users table seeder, and you guys going to see class here. By all means, this is because we haven't created the users table, but we're going to create the product table here. So we're going to create the product table here. We put a PHP artisan, we put a make, just like making model or making controller. We put a seed, and we put a product table seeder. We put a product table seeder. So we're going to put another table here, PHP artisan make seed product table seeder. So you guys hit enter, and you're going to see here our product seed is going to be here. Alright, so now our product seeder is here. You guys need to change here. Instead of user, we're going to put a product. So if you guys hover, you're going to see this one table seeder. So when you guys hover, you should see this product table or users table, whatever. Alright, so when you guys is here, now you guys see here run, and you guys need to add some modification here. Say for example, what we're going to add here. Now you guys add this model. If you want to connect your product here, the model product, you guys need to connect it to your table seeder. So the Laravel knows that this one belongs to this model, this product table seeder. So how we're going to do that? If you guys look inside the product, we have app model. So we're going to copy that one, and you remember the name of the class which we're going to use soon. We're going to put a use. We're going to use the namespace. We put app models, and we're going to say product here. That's it. So now Laravel knows that this product table belongs to this model. So now we have put a link between connection. So next time if you want to use say this seeder with this product with ease, you can use it with ease. Okay, so now if you now run, we need to create a database. Say now Laravel is going to say which table you want me to seed. So we put a DB, and we put a scope resolution operator. We put a table. We need to specify which table. If you look in here, we have a table product. We have this products table. So we're going to put the name of the products table. Make sure you put the name okay. So look at here, this products. So we put the products table, and like that. So now we are using the database. If you hover, you're going to see that Laravel illuminates support for SARS DB. You guys need to put this one on top. You guys need to put a use illuminate, then database, then we are not going to put a database seeder. We're going to put a illuminate. We're going to put a say support. So I'm going to put it here, support facade, so we put a support visit of facades, and then no, we're not going to put route, we're going to see facades, and we're going to put a db. So here you guys need to put a db. So if you don't put this line, then this is not going to work, this table. So if you go to put a use illuminate support facades db, you guys need to put it here, and it's especially this ones as well. So now the link is made to our database, to these products here. Make sure you look at exactly the same ones, little bit spelling here and there, you're gonna get a big error. So products, here you're looking for products, and we're looking for this product here. So create a table products. If you are in doubt, just copy this one and put it inside your Cedar here. You can put it here. So if you are worried that you have extra data here, you can put a truncate. What is truncate? If you're looking inside your operations, if you look in here, inside here, you're gonna see that database data or table, it says empty the table truncate. So it is asking that if you want to truncate or empty the table or delete the table completely. So you can delete the table. Truncate means empty the table. So we're going to put a truncate here. We put a truncate to empty the table. Alright, so now how are we going to create our how are we going to fill the columns here? If you look in here, our columns are if I put it this way, we have a ID, name, description, price. Don't worry about the ID. We worry about the name, description, price, special price. So we're gonna go our we can go here, look at the products table, but the only problem is here is because we added here 2 more columns here, because we are not going to see this one, but we're gonna see here. So now we're gonna go here. We have a class of product, so we copy this product, we bring it here, we put a product, and what we're gonna put a create. So what we're gonna create, the first one is that we're gonna put a name. For example, we're gonna put an Android phone. Our if you wanna make a few tables, we need to leave it empty. We put a description, and we need to put something on description. So now we have a name, description, we have a price, special price, so we have a price. We put a special price. We want to make sure that there is no spelling mistake, otherwise it's not, the data is not going to go in. So we put a name, description, price, special price, name, description, price, special price, and there was 2 more. We put a slug and feature product. So we put a slug and feature product. So we put a slug. When we put a special, I think there was a feature, a special product. Is a special product. We're gonna copy this one. We're gonna put here special product, and we put a yes or no, for example. Okay, so now we're gonna copy this one to make the second one. So we're gonna put it here. So the first one, for example, we're gonna put an Android phone. It's a latest phone, for example, and the price, for example, we put a $400, and special price gonna be $300, for example. and the Slug is Android phone. Slug Android phone, and this is feature product. Yes. The second one is we're going to put a Samsung TV, and description best HD TV, best HD TV with, for example, Netflix, and the price is going to be 5,000. It's the latest model. For example, this one is 4,000. Slug is a Samsung TV. Samsung TV. Slug is something for we create the third one. Slug is something for the search engines. For example, the third one we put a best we're gonna put a Sony, for example, TV, for example, our Sony laptop, for example. I'm not sure if Sony makes a laptop, but we just pretend best, for example, laptop, and the price gonna be, say, for example, 4,000, and it's 2,000. Big discount, clearance, Sony laptop. So we put a laptop, Sony laptop. Okay, so now we have a 3 data to fill. We're gonna put a save all. So as I said, we can put a DB table products, because if you look in here, observe here, they're also using DB, because schema is a DB, so we put a DB. So here we have a product. So if you hover, we see here we have a models product, because we are using the models, the product here. So here the products we're going to create, and we're going to create all this data in our database. So to truncate, as I said, is a way, if you have rubbish data here, it's going to clean it for you. It's going to clean and apply everything. So if you have already data, don't put this one, just put a DB table products. So that's what truncate is, and we are gonna go and we're gonna run to see if we have any error. Put a PHP artisan, and we put a DB, and we put a seed. Okay, there is one more thing. If you guys, some guys here, if you're gonna see here, this call, some people they put it like this. So instead of say this call, we put a class, they put it this way. Here, one here, and they put it this way. But if you notice, if you hover, we're going to see our class here, this one. But if you hover here, you're not going to see. So in case if you have like this, what you're going to do here, when you see here, make sure you put the table name here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a class, and you just put the product table seeder. Say we put a product, we put a table seeder. If you notice here, we have put a class product table seeder, and here we are just putting here, it says exactly the same. So we not going to put this way, because we're going to put it this way. This way is, I find it a lot easier than putting this way, because we're not going to forget. But if you happen to put it this way, the second way, make sure you put your class here. Make sure you put your class here. But if you already put your class, in our case, we don't need to put this one here. So we don't need to put this. We're going to clean, and we're going to see your DB's seed to see. Looks like we have an error, unexpected Android. So we have put a double. So we're going to go see why we put a double here. Problem here, if you look here, I put a single one. I should put a double one. That was the problem, and there was a problem here as well. Make sure you guys put the double arrow. So that's a single arrow. A single arrow is not acceptable inside this guy here, inside the array. You guys need to put a key value. That's a key, and that's a value, and the only thing you guys can achieve that through the double arrow. So that was a mistake with the single arrows for object. That's object operator. This is not a, just a double arrow, that's something else. This is for the key value. There is a key here and value here, so this is for the key value. But when you guys in a PHP, if you guys do this, that's an object operator. It means that we're gonna go for objects. But since we are not in object or anything, we are just want to say key value, the name, description, price, special price is a key. Inside here they're all key, and we just want to put a value in front. We just want to fill this. Okay, we're going to try again. PHP artisan DB seed, and our everything is done. Seeding carefully, database seeding completed successfully. It means everything is done. So when we come in our product, so we're going to come here. We're going to see here that's Android phone, Samsung TV, and Sony laptop. How cool is this? All of them's feature products, and all of them have a slug, and look at here, is done automatically without you guys do anything here. It's done automatically, and you're looking here, there's a latest phone, all our prices, everything's here, and ID is updated automatically because this is already inbuilt in Laravel. So we put a DB table. Say for example, the reason I said truncate, say for example, if you change this one, if you change the Android phone, so for example we can put a name, for example kite, so we can remember. We put a latest best kite, for example. We're going to change the complete structure. Best, we put a kite, and here the price is going to be say $40, and this one's 30, and we just put a kite. We just put a kite here. Okay, so is this going to put a no? Completely different structure. The second one is going to put a best car, for example. We put a Ford car. This is totally different. And best car, new car, for example. New car, price is going to be okay, and we put a Ford car. Ford, and we put a car. Feature product, and we're going to say yeah, and we're going to put a here, this guy here, we put a Toshiba, for example AC or aircon, best aircon AC, and here that's fine. We put a Toshiba AC, Toshiba AC, and make sure you put your slug always in lowercase for the search engines to find you. And everything's done, and because you guys gonna put truncate, it's gonna completely destroy the old ones and gonna put a new one. So we're gonna see here PHP artisan DBC, and we're looking here, it's done again. And once you refresh, you're not going to see this data. You're going to see the new ones. You're going to see the kite and Toshiba, and you're going to see here. So I'm going to put it here again. Product. You're going to see the new data. Ford car Toshiba. You're going to see this way, because here we put a truncate. So if you don't want this truncate, just leave it like that. So your data is going to be incremented. If you look in here, we didn't put any ID here. We just put a name, description. We didn't put a, say here, the two here. The product, we didn't put an ID, and we didn't put a timestamp, because with the seeder, Laravel is going to do it by itself. You don't need to do. You only do the things that is not related to the Laravel. Say here the IDs, because ID is going to, Laravel's got an engine, and here the Laravel's got an engine for this. But the Laravel don't know about the name, description, price, because that's our ones. So anything that the Laravel don't know, you guys need to put it here. But the things that Laravel knows, you guys don't need to put here. So this one created or updated, don't worry, just put a slug feature and put a description, name. Don't put an ID, because the Laravel is going to increment it by itself. That's how the seeder is going to work inside the Laravel. So now we have effectively created, and there is a link now between our models, which our product is going to sit here, and our migrations, which our table is going to sit here inside the database, and our seeder, which is going to populate our table. So now it's a lot easier to do this way, because you guys just need to copy here from here, just to whatever table you guys need, just to keep putting from here. So instead of you guys go every time manually put it here. That's what the Laravel is, a fast built framework, very quick, rapid. Laravel is got a philosophy that you should not waste your time going through the unnecessary things, like here, like this is unnecessary. You're going to waste a lot of valuable of your time, or your boss's time, or office time, just to go in, just to test your application, just to go in and put this one manually, because it's a lot of hassle and it's hard work. Instead, you guys going to come here and put it straight away this way. So this makes your job a lot easier and less frustration. So just put your DB, just put your column, whatever column you have, column name here, which is a product, just put it here, create. And when you put a SARS DB, it means you're going to go here, migration straight away. So you guys going to populate this table product. So that's how the seeders work inside the Laravel. So I repeat again, this is how we're going to create the seeder. So that's how we're going to create a model. We have seen how we're going to create a model, how we create migrations, how we see the status of the migration, how we see the how to add and how to remove stepwise of the anything from the rollback migration, and we've seen how we create our product table seeder. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe Cryowood. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.